Hello friends, let's begin with RP processes for MEMS and photolithography. MEMS is nothing but micro electromechanical systems. If we know the basic meaning of MEMS, then only you will understand that it requires all micro sensors, micro actuators, macro control system. So that is microprocessor, microcontrollers. So these systems mainly basically develop the micro electromechanical system, and this is used nowadays in every areas like automobile, aircraft system, aircraft control system, then our automobile car system. Okay, and then in every aspect, MEMS is a very most prominent area or most prominent technology we are developing nowadays. It will actually affect on the macro scale of the system. And photolithography is one of the same method of a stereolithography of masking method. So those things we are going to learn in RP processes for MEMS and photolithography. First, we move to the photolithography, and some of the MEMS aspect or some of the processes are there. That is two photon stereolithography or and another is microlithography. So those things we are generally going to discuss at the end. So let's start with the first photolithography and MEMS. So photolithography and MEMS. So microsystems, that is electromechanical systems fabrication uses several layers to build devices, and each layer of the linkage system is a different component of the device, and it requires a different pattern. So that is shown in this figure: MEMS linkage assembly, and each and photolithography defines and transfer a pattern to each respective layer. So it will transfer particular pattern to each respective layer. That is one of the photolithography define. Okay. So photolithography process, if you observe that there is a pattern mask, okay, there is a mask system. That means actual system which is made by the photo scanning on particular object. So that mask is there, and after that mask there is a wafer or there is a one of the plate, uh, and that plate is having some underlying layer that is shown in the blue color and photosensitive layer above that layer. And what is done, a laser will cure that material. Okay, so it will having each layer with a microsystem has a unique pattern. Okay, and photolithography transfer this pattern, that is that pattern mask as shown in the figure. This is a pattern mask, or there are different varieties of pattern masks. Okay, so those pattern from a mask to photosensitive layer, that is it is going to the this layer, photosensitive layer, that is a red layer, and another process that steps transfer the pattern from photosensitive layer into a underlying layer. So from pattern is transferred from this photosensitive to underlying, and after the patterns are transferred, the resist is stripped or it is removed. So after that, that resist, that is that pattern particular mask is removed. Okay, so there are three steps. One is coat, another is expose, and third is develop. These main areas that photolithography is divided. And as we know that it's having a light source, a a reticle, that is a mask system, and there is a lens. So this will be removed after some time after completion of particular wafer. So there is a wafer, and this pattern is repeated onto the wafer. Okay, as per the system is there. So that coating will be done, as on the resist dispense system. Okay, as shown in this, there is a vacuum table that will going downward and it is rotating 360 degree, while export system having UV light as like this, and it's having pattern mask as shown in this figure, and it's having photosensitive layer, layer be etched and wafer. Okay, so this is a wafer part, and develop then this substrate, and it will dip into one of the solution for development, and then after that it will be create the particular model which is defined in the source, okay, or defined in the mask. So code step, that is surface conditioning. In most applications, surface conditioning procedures the photoresist. Surface conditioning prepares the wafer to accept the photoresist by providing a clean surface. It coats the wafer with chemical that boost adhesion of the photoresist to the wafer surface. Usually hexamethyl disilazine, that is HMDS, is used. Okay, so that is used for coating on a wafer surface. Okay, so wafer is baked to remove. In first case it is a hot plate, we have to bake to remove the water molecules on the wafer surface. Then HMDS is applied, that is prime, to create a hydrophobic surface. Okay, then wafer is cooled to room temperature. So there is a spinning condition is there when it is applied as a hydrophobic surface to create a hydrophobic surface. Okay, then it is cooled down. Spin coating, a wafer is placed on a vacuum chuck. So wafer is placed on a vacuum chuck. Then a place vacuum holds the wafer on the chuck. So vacuum holds the wafer on the chuck. So vacuum holds that wafer form on the chuck. Then resist is applied. Then after that this resist is applied. Okay, that is a particular focus is applied, and chuck accelerates for desired resist thickness. It will accelerate with design resistance thickness. Okay, and chuck continues to spin to dry the film. So it will continue to spin 360 degree, so for drying the film. So particular film need to be dry. For that purpose it is moving. Photoresist, that is a resist, so it is a exposed region. If you observe that a light source, then it is a pattern mask and it's create a resist. Okay, and its exposed region is only that much, and underlying layer is there and substrate is there. So if you observe our substrate or wafer is available, so that is having positive resist because it is inside, while if we remove this part, there is a negative resist. So each and resist strip, that is shown in this figure. Okay, positive and negative. So photoresist is a mixture of organic compounds in a solvent solution. Positive resist, that means which is exposed in a regions and become more soluble, and a positive mask is left after develop. Okay, while negative resist is that exposed materials are hardened, a negative mask is left after develop. So negative mask, this is we have to remove after develop, where in positive region it is not creating a, it is soluble in nature. Okay, then soft bake. After the photoresist is applied to be a desired thickness, a soft bake is used to remove the residual solvents of the photoresist. After the soft bake, the wafer is cooled to a room temperature as shown in this figure. The alignment. Aligning is one of the most crucial steps in the entire microsystems fabrication process. A misalignment of 1 micron or a smaller can destroy the device and all the devices on the wafer. So each layer must be aligned properly and within specification to the previous layers and subsequent layers. So that is a very important part. Okay, so microscopic hinge is shown in this figure. Okay, for that purpose, alignment purpose. Then mask versus reticle. Okay, so that is a insert as shown in this figure, mask or reticle. Okay, so the pattern mask or reticle is a quartz or a glass plate with a desired pattern, usually in chrome. Some equipment do not use a whole mask. Instead, a smaller quartz plate is used with just a few die insert, and this plate is called a reticle. Expose. When the wafer is exposed by UV ultraviolet form light source, then it's traveling through a mask to resist. Okay, the chemical reaction occurs between the resist and the light. Only these areas not protected by mask undergo chemical reaction. Okay, so those are not protected by mask, that is undergo chemical reaction. Then develop. The portions of the photoresist are dissolved by chemical developer with photo positive resist, and the exposed resist is dissolved while the unexposed resist remains on the vapor. So that is shown in the figure. This is a resist and which is exposed, that is shown in the developer. Okay, and which is remaining, that is shown. Okay, with negative resist, the unexposed resist is dissolved while exposed resist remains. Okay, so that is a main important part of develop. Then hard break hardens the photoresist for the next process. The temperature of the hard bake is higher than that of the soft bake after coat. After the hard bake, the wafer is cooled to the room temperature. Inspect. Three critical parameters are there. Alignment. The pattern must be positioned accurately to the previously layer, and line width or critical dimension, that is CD. The pattern images are in focus and have a correct size. Okay. Then defects, things that could affect subsequent process and eventually the operation of the devices. Microstereolithography, that is another type of MEMS. So microstereolithography, which is derived in a conventional stereolithography, was introduced by Ikuta in 1993, not 1930. Okay. Whereas in conventional stereolithography, the laser spot size and layer thickness are both in 100 micrometer range. In microstereolithography, a UV laser beam is focused to 1 to 2 micrometer spot size to solidify material in a thin layer of 1 to 10 micrometer. The monomers which are used in RP and microstereolithography are both UV curable systems, but the viscosity in the latter case is much lower. For example, 6 CPS versus 2000 CPS. Okay, because the high surface tension hinders both efficient creative filling and creative filling and flat surface formation at a micro scale. In microstereolithography, the solidified polymer is light enough so that it does not require a support as is required a heavier pieces made in RP, as is shown in the figure. Then two photon lithography provides a further enhancement of the SLA resolution. A special initiator molecules in the monomer only start the polymerization reactions. If activated by two photons simultaneously, the laser intensity field can be tuned so that the events only happens in a very small region near the focus. The result is extremely local polymerization with resolutions in the tens of nanometer range. Two photon polymerization can occur everywhere in the monomer bath as opposed to only at a top layer, which is simplifying the hardware requirements considerably. So in two photon lithography there are two beams which are created the or develop the 3D printed part in a macro scale or nano scale. Thank you so much. Hope you understand very well.